Today on Geek Devotions, we're talking about mermaids, webtoons, and asking the question of what do we really need to focus on? Hello and welcome to Geek Devotions, the show from devoted geeks who are devoted to letting people know that they are loved. I am Celeste, and I'm so glad that you have hit play today. Do me a favor, check out our Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as our website. And we have a really cool story over there on the website. We have all kinds of articles and things over on our website as well. Going on right now as we speak. There is a 40-hour stream over on our Twitch where we are raising money for Teen Reach Adventure Camp Shreveport, which is a camp that reaches out to at-risk youth that are in the foster system. Once you get done watching this, go hang out over there. I'm not sure who's going to be streaming right now, but you should check them out. So recently I have been reading all the webtoons. I have read so many webtoons. Maybe not all of them. There's still a lot I haven't read, but a lot of them. I've been reading one recently called Swimming Lessons for a Mermaid. Makes you go, what? And it is a really adorable little story about this mermaid who, as a baby mermaid, can't swim because her tail isn't strong enough. And that's a problem in the ocean. Now, her dad is human, and her family decides that she needs to go live with him so that she can, be on land and be happy and be safe. Now, this little mermaid's name, no pun intended, wrong little mermaid, is named Choa. And she's super young when this happens. And so the story picks up when she's in high school. And Choa has moved to a new high school and has become friends with one of the guys that's on the swimming team. Through a series of events, he discovers that she is a mermaid and is determined to help her to learn how to swim. So that's the basis of the story. They go through all of this, but again and again, you see Choa reject friendships. Reject anything that might make her miss land when she goes back to the ocean, because she's on borrowed legs. She's even skipping school events because she doesn't want to get too attached. Sometimes it's easy to get super focused on what you're working towards, and that's a good thing. Being focused, having that laser intensity when you're trying to achieve a goal, whether it's college, whether it's getting a house, whether it's paying off debt, it's a great thing to have. But sometimes it's a good thing to have our plans interrupted, have our day interrupted, have things go completely opposite of how we thought they were going to go. Not saying we shouldn't have goals, but just sometimes there's things that need to happen that God's interrupted what you have planned to do. In Matthew, Jesus tells us, "Therefore do not be anxious about tomorrow, for tomorrow will be anxious for itself. Sufficient is the day for its own trouble." And sometimes when we allow ourselves to become so super focused and tunnel vision to something, we become anxious. We have problems, and it keeps us from doing things that are good for us. I have a podcast I listen to called Get Up Girl, and I was listening to it today, and the girl she was interviewing said an interesting phrase. She had a plan for the day. She wanted to go do something with her dad. Ended up not being able to do it. But her sister was available, so they went and they had a good day too. She was aggravated that her plans didn't go how they needed to go. But that was the day she met her husband. So she says she uses that to remind herself that sometimes things not going the way they're supposed to, the way you think they're supposed to, is a good thing. In Ecclesiastes 3, and it's verses 1 through 8, so we're not going to read it from the screen, but it's talking about there's a time for everything. So there is a time to be focused, to have that intensity in your mind of this is what I'm doing. You don't go off the rails with focus when you're 2 weeks away from graduating. It's hard. Anyone who has graduated anything will tell you those last 2 weeks are really difficult because you're so close. But at the same time, that's the time to focus. The time to focus is periodically throughout all the way to your degree, whichever degree that might be. But you also have to allow yourself rest. You have to allow yourself to have time to have rest, time to have fun, time to do things that are not pertinent to what you are hyper-focused on. Remember, it's all about balance. Being focused on something is good, but not if you focus on it to the detriment of everything else. Okay guys, that was your devotion for the week. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget, we are live streaming on Twitch until 10 o'clock tomorrow night. There will be somebody on our channel. We've got some pretty awesome people who are helping us out because Dallas and I both could not do 40 hours by ourselves. We are very thankful for them. So, it's time for the question of the week. The question of the week is, do you read Webtoons? Have you read Webtoons? Or any of the type of app that are like that? What's your favorite story? Mine is one called Citra, and it was written by Jason Brubank. Really good story, highly recommended. But if you don't want to go and download an app, you can actually get his stuff in a graphic novel, and it's really cool. He's a Christian. He's a pretty awesome dude. All that being said, stay devoted, peace, and love.